12 hours in the chair, one raid boss left. You are dehydrated and immobile. Beneath the skin of your calf, a silent biological bomb is being assembled. The knees remain bent at 90 degrees for hours. The popliteal vein behind the knee is kinked like a cheap garden hose. Blood flow slows to a swamp. You drank only soda. Sugar is high, water is low. Dehydration turns blood plasma into a thick, sticky syrup. Viscosity rises, triggers Virchow's triad. In the stagnant valve pockets, blood cells stop moving. Platelets, thrombocytes, get bored. They begin to adhere to the vessel wall like barnacles. The platelets release chemical distress signals. They call for backup. Fibrinogen proteins in the plasma wake up and transform into sticky fibrin. Fibrin strands shoot out, weaving a microscopic spiderweb across the vein lumen. It is a net designed to catch anything that flows by. Red blood cells drift into the net and get trapped. Layer by layer, the pileup grows. A dark red gelatinous mass forms in the deep silence. The deep vein thrombosis, DVT, is born. It grows to the size of a leech, filling the vein diameter. Your leg feels a dull ache, but you ignore it. The clot is unstable. Its tail floats loosely in the remaining trickle of blood, waving like seaweed in a current, waiting for a push. Hours pass. The clot hardens. It consolidates into a solid plug. The blood return from the leg is now partially blocked. The calf swells slightly. Game over. You finally win or lose. The adrenaline spike passes. You decide to stand up to go to the bathroom. This is the trigger event. As you stand, the calf muscles, gastrocnemius, contract violently. They act as a pump, squeezing the veins to push blood back up to the heart. The sudden hydraulic pressure shears the clot from the vessel wall. The anchor snaps. The biological bomb is launched. It is now an embolus. The torpedo accelerates up the femoral vein. It travels through the pelvis, picking up speed in the widening river of the iliac vein. It enters the inferior vena cava, the body's main highway. The path is wide and clear. Nothing stops it. It races toward the chest cavity. The embolus enters the right atrium of the heart. The heart detects volume and blindly pumps it forward, aiding its own destruction. It passes through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. The chamber contracts, firing the projectile into the pulmonary circulation. The missile enters the pulmonary artery. The road suddenly narrows and branches out to the lungs. The clot is too big to fit through the gate. Impact. The clot slams into the main bifurcation of the artery. It wedges tight, straddling both left and right branches. A saddle embolus. Total blockade. The blood supply to the lungs is cut off instantly. The bridge between the heart and oxygen is destroyed. 0% flow. The right ventricle pushes against a closed door. Pressure inside the heart skyrockets. The muscle wall stretches and begins to fail. Dead space ventilation begins. You inhale air, but blood can't reach the alveoli to pick up oxygen. You are breathing, but suffocating. Acute hypoxia hits the brain. You feel a sudden sense of impending doom. You gasp for air, clutching your chest, collapsing in the hallway. The heart begins to deform. The right ventricle balloons out, crushing the left ventricle. Acute cor pulmonale. The geometry of life fails. Since blood can't pass the lungs, the left heart receives nothing. It pumps dry. Blood pressure crashes to zero. Systemic shock sets in. The brain is starved of glucose and oxygen. Vision tunnels to black. Consciousness is lost within 10 seconds of the blockage. Carbon dioxide builds up in the trapped blood. The pH plummets. The heart muscle, now toxic and stretched, loses its electrical rhythm. Pulseless electrical activity, PEA. The monitor shows a rhythm, but the heart is pushing nothing. It is beating on empty. The clot remains wedged tight like a cork. Without heavy thrombolytic drugs or surgery immediately, the blockage is permanent. Respiration stops. The brainstem shuts down the diaphragm. The gamer lies still on the floor. The game continues on the screen above. Deep vein thrombosis kills more people than car crashes. Move your legs, break the stasis. Don't let the chair become your coffin. Sitting right now? Stand up, pump the blood. Comment your current sit time. Let's see who is closest to the clot. Like and subscribe to survive. The chair is waiting.